How you doing, people? Well, after some very careful consideration, I decided to make my YouTube debut. Um, and the main reason is Christian apologetics. And in specific, presuppositional apologetics. And I just couldn't I just couldn't stay away. I just had to voice my opinion on this because I really feel that this there's just no need for this. It really is a whole new level of ignorance. Just the standards and the tactics that they're employing, it's just mind-boggling. And it's what really is mind-boggling about it is that otherwise intelligent, articulate atheists that are very good at deconstructing and finding the flaws in the various arguments that Christian apologetics present, we're really reduced to foolishness. And it's not because we are foolish, it's because we allow ourselves to be caught up in this whole game. We allow them to employ this double standard. We allow them to make all the assumptions they want with absolutely zero justification. And then we allow them to judge us through that very presumptuous lens that they have created. And there's really no way to win when you allow that to happen. And I think that's what we need to stop. We need to stop playing these games and focus on what's really going on here. And what's really going on here is that these people are committing a number of fallacies, just a number of them. And like I said, they're basically playing these games and doing whatever they have to do to avoid the real hole in their whole argument. And that's that they have zero justification for the assumptions that they've made. They really have the same problem that we do. They just won't admit it. I mean, there's no negating that. There's definitely a lot of mysteries, and epistemologically, there's things that we just don't know and will remain a mystery. But there's certain things that are just axiomatic. And if we're gonna start questioning those things, there's really no way to really live. How are we even gonna have conversations? How are we even gonna go through daily activities and communicate with people if we don't even know if we're here? So I think fundamentally there's obviously a mystery there, and that we all would like to get to the root of and find out why things are the way they are. But in the process, we have to admit that things just are the way they are. And sometimes we can't know everything. And I think they play on this game, and they play maybe on the different weaknesses that we have. One of those being that we strive to find justifications and explanations for the things that we know or for the things that we choose to believe. And I think that's one of our major weaknesses. And I mean a weakness as far as this argument. Because other than this argument, I think that's a major strength, our ability to find explanations and justifications for the reasons we believe. That's why we just don't believe anything that just pops into our head, or anything that people might want us to believe. We strive to find out if there's actual evidence, and if there's actual justification in believing things. And I think that's something that they just don't find the need to do. Fundamental difference here is that they don't have that weakness. They will believe, they will think they know so many things that they absolutely don't know, and it's just so presumptuous, and it's really so insulting. The way that they go about this, the way that they'll claim, oh, you know this. I know it just how everybody else knows it, just how you know this. How presumptuous is that? How insulting is that to claim that you think that we know something just because you read it in some book, which you have zero justification for. You go around making assumptions, and with those assumptions, you think that you can know what other people know, and you think you know what's going to happen to them eternally? How insane is that? We really have to point out these fundamental flaws in these people's logic. It's really insanity. And the fact that we allow it, I don't know. That's what boggles my mind. It's getting to really ridiculous levels. And we can't allow that to happen anymore. Anytime that we engage these people, we must point out that they have zero justification for what they're doing. I mean, just the fact that you know that your logic is viciously circular and that you can get around all this by just defining it the way you want, defining it, saying it's virtual, and it's that way because God, because it's okay because you have God. But when it comes down to us justifying why we know what we know, all of a sudden it can't be virtuously circular. It's viciously circular. That double standard right there should just show you how truly deluded these people are. The fact that they have to use their reasoning to even know that this Bible is even true, or the fact that they have to interpret these words the way that they want to interpret them. But what do they have to use to do that? Obviously, the reason. And how do they know that the reasoning is valid as well? Obviously, their reason. So, think about it. They can do it, but we can't. This whole argument is really insane. And the fact that we're giving them the time of day is even more insane. The fact that we're trying to come up with different ways to disprove this insanity, it's even more insane. So, there's really nothing that you have to do, though. It's self-refuting. It's self-refuting nonsense. All we have to do is point it out right from the beginning. Your whole premise, I rejected. Your whole argument is circular, and I'm done. I'm not going to give you the time of day. It's insanity. It's insulting. It's disrespectful. Enough. I think it's time that we expose these people, ridicule these people for what they are. I'm sorry. I wish I could show you more respect, but you don't do that to us, so why should we? And it's not that we're trying to ridicule you, we're trying to ridicule that way of thinking. I mean, I can't really say much else. I think it's time that we stop playing their games and we start exposing their flaws. They know they have them, but they'll do anything they can to avoid it. To avoid dealing with the fact that they have no justification for all these assumptions they made. Plain and simple. Now, I will be more than happy to engage any of these people. I'll just let you know I'm not going to play any of these games. With that being said, I'm pretty sure that you'll be too coward to even take me up on this offer. I'm more than ready and more than willing to expose your faulty logic. So, I don't know, the ball's in your court. I just ask my fellow atheists, anytime that you're in a position where this kind of argument is presented to you, don't play the games. Hold them to the same standard that they're holding you. Plain and simply. And watch them run. Watch them hide. Watch them coward. That's all I have. Stay classy, San Diego.